4 or 5 hours after I produced and uploaded my Warlords of Lag video, there was an article on Joystiq, which is linked in the description. It came out about 11 p.m. Standard Eastern Time, November 13th, meaning yesterday. And it stated and confirmed that Blizzard was the target of a DDoS attack. Can Joystiq be considered Pulitzer Prize caliber journalism as far as a website goes? No, not really. They're not the New York Times. They're not the Washington Post. They're not 60 Minutes. But the reality is Joystiq is one of only a handful of gaming journalist-type websites who offer the gaming industry a reliable and pretty much steady source of news. In the interest of being fair and thorough, I did a little bit of research. Google is my friend, and Wikipedia is a friend of Google's. Here's the precise definition of what DDoS is. And to quote Wikipedia, in computing, a denial of service, or a DOS, or distributed denial of service, DDoS attack, is an attempt to make a machine or network resource unavailable to its intended users. Although the means to carry out, the motives for, and targets of a DOS or DDoS attack vary, it generally consists of efforts to temporarily or indefinitely interrupt or suspend services of a host connected to the internet. First question to pop into my head: why would someone launch a DDoS attack at a major corporation? Why would someone do something like that? What would be the benefit? The person launching the attack can't jump on the forums and say, hey, I took down Blizzard for a day. Come buy a t-shirt. No, they can't do that. It's not the kind of thing that would look good on a resume either. That's for sure. And there is a jail sentence if convicted of this sort of crime. It can be considered a crime. You can go to jail for it. So there's not much benefit to it. Why would you do it? And I think Alfred, who's Alfred? Alfred is Batman's butler. In The Dark Knight, Alfred summed up insanity and lunacy and chaos perfectly. When he was describing the Joker, he said, some men don't care about fame or fortune. Some men just want to watch the world burn. And then you see this like insane face of the Joker. And it's true. Some people just indulge themselves in the chaos that they create. They indulge themselves in the anger that they instigate. And they will hit the forums on MMO, and they'll hit the forums on WoW, and really just relish in the confusion, chaos, and anger that they create. Two more very reasonable questions pop into my mind. And let me know if any questions pop into your mind. But the two questions are, first, is there a way to protect yourself, to protect your company, to protect your server from a DDoS attack? And the second question is, if there is a very reasonable and effective way to protect yourself, to protect your server, your company, from a DDoS attack, is it really cost effective? To answer the first question, yes, absolutely. There are companies out there that make a living out of protecting other companies' assets and servers from DDoS attacks. Let's assume and probably deduce that Blizzard took the deluxe package to protect themselves from a DDoS attack. And they didn't take the Walmart package. They didn't take the discount package. They did everything they most possibly could, follow the protocol step by step, and paid top dollar with a highly respected firm to protect their servers. And here's why I believe they did this. You're talking about Activision, a $16 to $18 billion company, of which Blizzard is a subsidiary. And my guess is Blizzard's revenues probably are $3 to $5 billion of that $16 to $18 billion. So if you're running a company, and I'm asking you this question as a business person, put on your business hat, if you run a company that's worth $3 to $5 billion under the auspices of a company worth $16 to $18 billion, are you going to do your very best to protect your assets? What's your answer? I believe they would. Those are my thoughts. I'm showing you my cards. I believe they would. Now here's where things get really super interesting in Azeroth. Let's say Blizzard did everything right, which I believe they did, but let's assume they definitely did. They went to the Cadillac or the Microsoft or the Intel gold standard of the DDoS protectors out there. And they spent a ton of money to do it. They spent top dollar to do it. They had a huge budget to do it. Does that still guarantee that they are immune to a DDoS attack? No, there is no guarantee. It is very possible they could still be attacked. And to quote a really bad movie, bad movie from the early 2000s with Al Pacino and Colin Farrell. The movie is The Recruit, but there's an amazing quote in the movie. And Al Pacino says, "Our ability to commit fraud exceeds our ability to detect it." And anyone who works in the tech industry or the security industry, like I do, knows this to be very true. Very true. Let's put it on a more personal level. You sitting in front of your computer or laptop. For example, you might have the best antivirus software and feel very confident your computer is protected. Does that guarantee that you're invulnerable to a virus? No, it really doesn't. The Joystiq article stating and confirming Blizzard was the target of a DDoS attack is linked in the description. And if you read the article, and I suggest you do, it's a very, very short article, you can see an inference, very plainly see an inference that Joystiq is stating that, hey, even though Blizzard was the target of this attack, and some crazy individual with a Joker from Batman mentality decided, hey, I'm going to have some fun with Blizzard today, even though that did occur, there still would have been launch issues. Maybe not launch issues to the severity and insanity that there are, but to some extent, yes, there would have been launch issues. Now, here's the really interesting news. A second article on Joystiq popped up today, and it asked two really good questions. Where is Blizzard responsible, and where are they not responsible for all these long queues and the lag and the craziness and the Hotel California effect of checking out but never leaving your garrison kind of stuff? Where are they responsible? Where are they not responsible? That's linked in the description as well. You can check out that article. It's very, very short. Now, I played the beta. I leveled an Alliance tune to 94, leveled a Horde tune to 94. I went through those zones, and there was no lag. It was very, very smooth. It went without a hitch. The garrisons, on the other hand, were pretty darn buggy. But I gave Blizzard a mulligan because it's a new feature. If suddenly, pet battles were laggy or crazy, I'd attack Blizzard because they've had it for 2 years. They should have a protocol how to fix potential problems, but Garrisons are brand new, so I expected things to be buggy, and they certainly were. And let me tell you this, straight from the heart, I hated the idea about Garrisons initially. When they announced it at BlizzCon 2013, I was like, really? Player housing? Are you kidding me? That was something people trumpeted that they wanted on the forums back in Wrath of the Lich King, and I still couldn't care less. I own my own house. I don't need a virtual one in WoW. But, hey, people did want it then, 5 years ago. They still want it now. And I have to be honest, Garrisons are pretty damn cool. Maybe I'm speaking from a point of view of very low expectations, but hey, they are very cool. They make questing a lot more fun. They make it a lot more fluid. They make it less grindy. They give you something else to feel like you're achieving while you're leveling and achieving things. I mean, they're pretty cool. They really are, and they offer you a lot of cool perks, and also they make dailies less grindy. It's a brilliant idea, and the way they implement it into Draenor, awesome, really awesome. So I hope that they can fix them, because I know that garrisons are part of the problem. I myself didn't experience lag issues with my garrison on the Horde side or the Alliance side, but I know people who did. I've seen people in the comments of my previous videos saying they did, and I see it on the forums. People saying, garrisons are like building an elephant farm on oatmeal. I mean, I don't know where I came up with that, but the point is that they're not working as intended. It was obvious on the beta, it's obvious at launch, and it is part of the problem, and I really hope that they can fix it pretty soon. The second question is it cost effective to protect your assets from a DDoS account, or DDoS, whether you're a business or you're an individual, is it cost effective? And that's an answer that only Blizzard can provide. If you're in the financial services business, a bank, brokerage house, insurance firm, yeah, it's very important to protect your assets. If you're a gaming company like Blizzard, maybe not. I'm also going to shed another point and offer this to people. I work as a salesman in high-end corporate alarms. I sell commercial alarms to small and medium businesses. And the difference between my high-end alarms and a generic alarm is very, very simple. We offer verified proof through audio or video of a break-in. Here's the significance of that. On a national level, if an alarm goes off, a random or generic alarm goes off, the average response time nationwide of the police is 45 to 50 minutes. If one of my high-end alarms goes off and I present the police with verified proof, whether audio or video, of the break-in, the average response time nationwide of the police is 6 minutes. Do you want to pay more for the premium alarm, or do you want to pay less to have a full sense of security? Now, here's another thought. Most of the people, the overwhelming majority of the companies and people that I sell to, 95% of them are insured against a break-in. Insured to fix the damage, insured for the merchandise lost, and insured for the majority of the assets lost. So why bother getting an alarm? Here's the reason why. You want to protect yourself. It's not about the violation or losing the assets. It's about the downtime of your business. That's what it's really about. Picture this. Guy owns a diner, big diner in a very respected neighborhood. And he's broken into and has things stolen. Now, they're not going to put up a sign, "We were broken into. Please pardon our, appearance." No, they'll never do that. They'll say, "We're remodeling." Okay, people will understand they're remodeling, but how long are they going to go there and kind of deal with the yucky environment? Deal with the dust and all the things that, are associated with construction. Because when people are fixing something with construction, it really goes as planned, and it really goes on the time schedule that they expect. So if you expect to be down for a couple of days, expect a couple of weeks. If you expect to be down for a couple of weeks, expect a couple of months. And if things turn into a couple of months, people are going to be like, "Hey, I can get a burger down the block and I don't have to deal with this crazy environment." And that's the last thing any business owner wants to see. That's the last thing they want to occur. And that's also true with Blizzard. Fortunately for Blizzard, they're the Cadillac, they're the gold of the MMO standard. So there's not a lot of other acceptable alternatives for people to turn to as far as MMOs are concerned. Okay, Blizzard on its worst day is still better than the majority of the MMOs out there on their best day. That is a statement that I will hold to be extraordinarily true. The question now is, how long is it going to take to fix? Are we talking a couple of hours? Are we talking a couple of days? Are we really talking a couple of weeks? My goal here is just to be thorough and to be as accurate as possible and as fair as possible, and simply present the facts. This is a fact that I wish would have been in my initial video about the DDOS, but it really didn't surface until 5 or 6 hours after the video was uploaded. And the situation was a little bit too timely for me to wait a day or two. And forget about a corporate level in DDOS. It's an issue on an individual level. In the gaming industry, it most definitely is. I recall doing RBGs with my guildies, and we would do a stretch of about 8 to 10 RBGs in a given night, and 5 or 6 times people would be randomly disconnected in the middle of the RBG. And then the following night, we'd get together in a group, and we would do just regular battlegrounds and spam them. And we'd do 10 or 12, and guess what? Nobody gets disconnected. Why? Because there's no rating attached to it. There's no stakes attached to it. And there's nobody sitting behind their computer DDoSing an individual. Swifty made videos on it. Many other people in WoW made videos on it, showing it happening to them. It's a reality. It happens to individuals as well as corporations. The question is, how responsible is Blizzard for this whole thing? How responsible is the DDoS for this whole thing? And how long is it going to take to fix? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Please leave them in the comments. And be sure, hey, give it a subscribe if you listen this long. Have yourself a great day.